Good morning and welcome back to another edition of Bernal Connect. I am once again joined by the ever fabulous Tracy. Tracy, what's going on?
Good morning, everybody. It's great. It's wonderful. It's another wonderful, beautiful summer Bernal day. Really can't complain. And yeah, we're so excited to have David. He's our fellow Bernal neighbor. I've come to know him through getting bagels every other Sunday. It feels like it's more regular now. David and our other buddy Dan, our other bagel guy, host the So Bagels bagel shop on Sundays, and we're so excited to have David. David,
David, welcome.
Hello, hello.
So, Davis, tell us a little bit about you. How long have you been in Bernal?
Moved to Bernal in 2003, I think, after having lived in the middle of town for about 25 years.
And how long have you been involved with the bagel business?
Since 2021, I think. Dan and I met kind of in the throes of the pandemic. Um, there was a neighborhood organization, Events on the Hill,
Mhm.
that was hosting a bunch of pandemic, real, kind of like outside sales and holiday meet and greets and whatnot. And I met Dan there, I think in 2021.
And why bagels?
Well, you that I don't have any influence over that. Uh, that's Dan. That's Dan's thing. I am just interested in the sandwich part.
Okay.
So I used to have a sandwich shop a long time ago, and I love making sandwiches.
And where was the old sandwich shop?
It was called Pal's Takeaway. It was on in a corner store on 24th and Hampshire.
Okay.
It was like the first pop-up sort of. Like we basically took over a vacant sandwich counter in a corner store.
And what makes a good sandwich, David?
Uh, I think balance of all the ingredients, and it has to be juicy, and it should have something pickled on it.
And as Tracy mentioned, these are available every other week. Where can people find you?
At 629 Cortland, um, in the Vino Rosso Parklet.
Okay.
They're not really available every other week. The schedule is irregular. If people are really interested, they should look at SO Bagels on Instagram or the Bernalwood Facebook page.
So let's sort of go back to you said what 2003 or so is when you moved over to Bernal.
hmm
So what made you move to Bernal?
Um, my wife and I really wanted to own a home, and we really wanted to own a single family. I mean, a detached home would have been the ultimate goal, but um, and we also really wanted, at the time, we wanted to stay in our neighborhood. We basically lived around Alamo Square, and there were not hardly any single family homes there. And the ones that were there were totally unaffordable. And we had a very nice real estate agent who showed us a lot of houses and found one in Bernal that we liked. And both of us were like, wow, where is this where is this place? I don't think we'd ever been south of Cesar Chavez, maybe. So that was a big change. I mean, I had been to the soapbox derby races up on Bernal Hill, but I didn't put two and two together that,
Okay.
you know, there's a neighborhood around there.
Yeah, and I believe that the soapbox derby races are featured in the Bernal film, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So there was and I think that film is coming up on its 25th anniversary. We'll put a link in that below, as well as a link to SF Bagel's Instagram. But that was a pretty big thing back in the day, those soapbox.
It was epic. It was really super fun. There would be 500 people on Bernal Hill and multiple heats of races, lots of wipeouts, lots of beer drinking and weed smoking, and lots of dogs running around untethered. It was very fun.
Perfectly safe, kid friendly
Yeah,
environment.
yeah. I mean, I saw a lot of crashes and saw spectators get wiped out by cars, and yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that's just liability waiting to happen. So beyond, beyond the adventures of the soapboxes, tell us a little bit about like, where do you like to go in Bernal? What's your favorite place? Where do you hang out?
Bernal Hill,
Okay.
definitely.
And
Yeah.
tell us
Um,
more.
I mean, I have two dogs who are very active, hunting dogs, and so it's nice for them to be able to run around like crazy. Um, there's so many beautiful outdoor spots in Bernal. I think the section of the neighborhood that I guess it's north and east of Bernal Hill. I can't remember any of the street names, but if you like walk to the bottom of Bernal Hill and then kind of keep going east, there's a whole neighborhood of tiny little streets,
Yeah.
community gardens. They all run into each other. It's that is a magical little spot. I love walking around there. Um, and
Like,
you know, I live 2 blocks from Holly Park, so I spend a lot of time in Holly Park.
Okay. Yeah, what's kind of interesting is we've been here, 25 years and sort of the same thing where we'll just walk around like I had no idea this was here, like going
Yeah,
over the hill or going, into St. Mary's and stuff like that, where there's just so much to be, explore within Bernal, that's
yeah,
still within Bernal and completely different. Yeah, I think the area that you're talking about over there is, um, Peralta, right? The Peralta
yeah, yeah,
neighborhood. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And it is like a totally different world over there because it's up in the
yeah.
hills and very, like who knew this existed?
Yeah, and that's about one of my favorite places to walk around in Bernal.
Okay. What about restaurants? You got any favorites?
Um, if Blue Plate is in Bernal,
It
yes,
is. It technically is in
yes,
Bernal. Yeah, it's on the Mission Bernal
yes,
side. Yes.
yeah. Corey, the chef, is he's a genius, underrated genius, and super nice.
I have to
So,
figure out that key lime pie recipe. It's my favorite in the whole wide world, and I've
oh
tried
yeah,
to learn
Have you tried
recipes.
to
And
reverse engineer it or it's just a
yeah,
thought?
it's just a thought. But
Okay.
I mean, I've got in-laws in right now, and they're asking me to go to Blue Plate to get just the key lime pie, and
They
you know,
do offer the pies to go.
yeah, but not the recipe. I want the
Well,
recipe.
yeah. Why would they give you the recipe? That doesn't
I'll just keep paying $60 for a whole pie or however much it is now.
exactly. Yeah, Blue Plate is great. We were there like about 2 weeks ago, and there was a party going on in the back. No, no shortage of activity over there on a Friday night.
yeah, it's a happy spot.
It is a happy spot. Anything else, David? Any other watering holes? Anything like that?
I'm kind of terrible. Like I stopped drinking, so I mean, I didn't like stop, hard stop, but stopped enough that like I don't think had a drink in a bar in 6 months, I bet.
Okay.
But Pinhole Coffee, definitely. Uh, well, yeah, I think like any of the little businesses along Cortland are really great. I feel very fortunate that like we have a viable commercial strip in our neighborhood.
And do you have a particular order at Pinhole? Are you just a regular coffee drinker,
No.
or do you order something special?
I just drink coffee
Okay.
or cappuccinos. That's it. But
Okay.
yeah, I think they do everything well, I would say.
I've begun to start to explore flat whites and
Oh yeah.
really gotten into that recently. So, and they do a nice job at that also.
Yeah.
Tracy, where are you hanging out these days? At
Well,
home with the in-laws trying to, reverse engineer blue plates
Key
key
lime
lime
pie
pie. But besides
recipes.
that,
I mean, yeah, I mean, aside from that, this past week we were in Napa Sonoma. And just speaking of non-drinking, unfortunately, it's actually not busy over there because we were at Soda Rock, which is a pretty big, famous winery out
Oh
there,
yeah.
and people are kind of not drinking as much anymore. And it's part of the
Yeah.
health craze, less drinking, more exercising, eating really healthy, local, pasteurized, whatever meats. And so part of that is it's affecting the wine industry, actually, believe it or not.
I mean,
Um,
climate change is gonna be crushing the wine industry.
well, I got to tell you, as a regular at the tequila shop, I don't see
I was
that.
gonna
Oh
say
yeah, yeah. That's actually another business that I think, like, even though I don't drink, that is a business I really like to patronize. I like the proprietors
Moose.
and
Yeah.
and there's another guy who's not Moose, a littler dude who I
Scott.
really like.
That's Scott.
Yeah, and you know, they just the variety, not just of tequila, but all the other booze is incredible. I bought a couple bottles of some Mexican corn whiskey that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so going backward, yes to the tequila shop.
I mean, the fun thing about I work with them, so Scott is great. Scott's pretty quiet, but
Yeah,
Scott is so beyond knowledgeable. So
yeah,
when you go in there and you're like, oh, I want this, or like I'm looking for this kind of taste profile, Scott's the guy to ask. He just
yeah.
knows everything in the store. He knows the really obscure stuff. If you ever want to set Scott off on a tangent, um, ask him about Malort, and he will
Oh
just
God,
chat your ear off. Yeah. So
I don't want to talk
people who
about
respond
Malort,
to that, they
man.
know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's just,
I
we
don't
went
want to
to
talk about Malort.
no, we went to an event and we were down at Mission Rock and um, Scott ordered Malort and the owner of the restaurant came out from the back and had to see who it was that was ordering this stuff. Tracy, if you don't know Malort, which I'm
Is
assuming by
that?
your reaction you don't, it's it's sort of hard to describe, but it's a liqueur, very famous in Chicago. It's definitely a Chicago drink. So, like, if somebody drinks Malort, they have Chicago somewhere in their background. But I think it's anise or some, kind of flavor profile like that. That is truly an acquired taste.
Yeah, yeah. I
Jeez.
mean, and it's just an old fashioned digestif, really.
Like like old time folks in Chicago, this is their
It's like
go-to.
more medicine than booze,
Yeah,
basically.
it's disgusting.
Yes.
I don't know about, and it's Malord, like my lord, but
No, it's Malort, Malort.
oh,
You don't really need to
Yeah,
explore it.
yeah.
I can't
But
recommend it in good conscience.
I'm not recommending it, but what I was recommending is if you ever want to get like Scott engaged, ask him
Oh,
about
that's the
Malort.
trick.
That's the trick, because like this is his thing. Um,
I wonder how they come up with it. Who was the original person who's like, yummy. Let me just put in this digestive star
It's
anise and
like
just
those Carthusian monks,
yeah.
like making chartreuse and
Whatever they had laying around is probably how they came up with
yeah,
it. They're just like,
yeah,
oh, you know, typically most alcohols are like, whatever you have locally, let's figure out how we can get drunk off of this.
yeah.
That's the premise behind alcohol is, you know, we have corn, we'll make corn whiskey. We have agave, we'll make tequila. It's just like, it's whatever's laying around that typically, somebody's
Has
like, I
sugar
bet
in
we
it.
can get drunk off of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if you ever get a chance, David, just ask Scott about Malort and just be prepared because you will get an earful. So cool. Well, we very much appreciate you joining us. We will put a link of the Instagram for So Bagels down in below.
Excellent. We
Um,
will be doing it again July 19th.
okay. We got some things coming up on the hill, so I just wanted to mention them. There's always lots of activity. I just got an email from the library, and they are just doing a whole calendar of summer events. So if you're wondering what to do with your kids, head over to the library. There's activities, there's stuff for adults, there's clothing, fix clothes, reuse, repair, all that type of fun stuff. There's obviously always the reading hours, but there's also a lot of art activities over the summer. And I believe they're in the midst of their summer reading program. So check that out. In addition to that, we have the mayor's wife is hosting One City Day on July 11th, which is a an opportunity to serve your community through cleanup activities. I believe there's something like 30 plus activities throughout the city, of which we have two here in Bernal. We will be building a new daylighting zone on the other side of Cortland at Moultrie, so across from the one that currently exists. That's July 11th, I believe between 10 and 12. So if you're interested in the daylighting area and you want to come over and support that, we'll be out there on July 11th. In addition to that, on the same day, because there's just lots going on one day, we'll be over at the Tompkins Stairs as part of the One City Day, and we will be doing a cleanup over there. Because we're sort of those crazy kind of like, oh, we should clean the house before the housekeeper comes, we'll also be doing a cleanup day on July 4th. So before you hit the barbecues, before you start getting into your malort, which nobody gets into. So head over to us. We'll be there at 10 to 12 on July 4th. So again, you can do a little community service before you head off and enjoy your barbecues, but we'll be out there for that. And then there's just, it's summertime, so there's plenty going on. I know there's a bunch of new classes over at Speckle Studio. And I'm sure there's plenty of opportunities to enjoy some beverages and food up and down the corridor. And if anybody can figure out Blue Plate's key lime pie, let us know and we'll pass that on to Tracy. And we won't tell JT we're trying. So, JT, we're not trying to reverse engineer your key lime pie at all. Tracy, you got anything for us before we head out?
No, that was it. I was going to say it's a good reminder to get out and enjoy the sun, and then also to join us, please, for the one day that's happening both on July 4th and July 11th. I'm excited for that.
And then I have one more thing. I'm sorry, I forgot. We have a couple of also big things going on in the city. So just one because of a lot of traffic. I was actually at a press conference with the mayor yesterday, and a big focus on safety. We just came off of Pride, which a couple 100,000 people came through the city, and the city did a great job managing all of that. There were some minor incidences, but for in general, it was a great event and very successful. We have two big events coming up. This Wednesday, July 1st, the U.S. will be playing at Levi Stadium, and while not directly in San Francisco, we expect a whole bunch of traffic related to that activity, whether folks are staying in or coming to visit. So be aware, July 1st, U.S. is playing down at Levi Stadium, but it'll probably impact traffic. Even more important is July 4th. So for the 250th anniversary of our nation, the city of San Francisco is shooting fireworks off the top of the Golden Gate Bridge. So the two tiers of the Golden Gate Bridge, I don't think that's what they're called. I think they're called something else.
Towers?
The two towers, thank you. So the two towers, there will be fireworks off of that. There will also be fireworks off of some barges down on the water. Um, the whole sort of waterfront is going to be crazy for viewing and stuff like that. The city highly recommends that you take public transportation to and from these. The Golden Gate Bridge obviously will be closed from 8 o'clock on. Just so if you have travel or you're thinking of going somewhere, you're not going over the bridge. So just
Yeah.
keep in mind that the Golden Gate Bridge will be closed on July 4th. There is some great fireworks opportunities. Probably if you're a reasonable, sane Bernal person, just go up to the top of Bernal and watch it from
Oh,
there
yeah.
and stay away from the downtown area because it's going to be a zoo. But if you do have to go downtown or you do have to go somewhere, just plan on taking some extra time because it's just probably going to be a lot of traffic. go out, have fun, celebrate the 4th. We look forward to seeing you both on July 4th at the Tompkins Stairs as well as One City
Can
Day
I put in a
at Portland.
plug for the, I
You
want to put in a
may.
plug for the illegal fireworks viewing from Bernal Hill. Has the best view in 360-degree direction of every backyard's incredible fireworks. So everybody go up there.
So just keep in mind, because I was sitting there with the mayor yesterday, they're going to be cracking down on that. So they
Yeah, good luck.
specifically mentioned they can't get to everybody, but just be aware they're going to be out there looking for you. So if you're one of
I'm
those
just
folks,
watching. I'm just watching.
Just
yeah, I didn't
watching.
say you were, but I'm just telling the other folks, just be aware they will be looking for you because they are, very, very sensitive about safety issues and concerns with some of those activities. So I'm not judging. I'm just telling you, be aware they're going to be out there because the city wants to make sure that July 4th remains safe. We want to make sure it remains safe. So please be careful. If you do whatever you do, just be aware that there's going to be people out looking. But I agree with you. Probably the best place ever to see the fireworks is the top of Bernal. You get to see
Definitely.
stuff going off in the East Bay. You'll obviously have
Yep.
a good view of downtown, provided it's not overcast. I think last year it was completely overcast. Like you could see sort of like
Couldn't see anything
you could
last
see
year.
sort of colors behind the clouds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty much it. But there's usually something that's clear. So if you can't see downtown from there, you'll be able to see the East Bay or even see parts of the peninsula. So, we look forward to seeing you up on the hill. If you're going downtown, be careful, be safe. And thank you, David, for joining us. Tracy, it
Thank
is always a
you.
pleasure. And we look forward to a fun week coming up. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, you guys.
Take care.